So here in the Midwest, it seems like there's been a cold front coming through and lowering the temperatures, which seems like a good time to do the Green Bay Blizzard preview, wouldn't it? Let's go in the alley and see what they're made of in 2024. Hey everyone, welcome back into In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you decided to join us for the Green Bay 2024 IFL preview. The Blizzard are kind of a mystery. They've had some lows, they've had some highs, and as of recently, they've beaten Sioux Falls a few times, which is awesome. That being said, can we get them over the hump and into the playoffs in 2024? We'll check the schedule in a second, but let's figure out their team history, who they are, what they are, and anything and everything about the Green Bay Blizzard. So let's take a trip back in time with the Green Bay Blizzard as the history tab pops up over here. Obviously located in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Green Bay Blizzard are coached by Corey Roberson, and they play at the Resch Center with 8,600 of a capacity. I'm not going to try to pronounce where the Resch Center is located because, well, I'm not going to do it any justice. They don't have any championships to their name, and their 2023 record was 7-8, good for the 5th seed in the East. Unfortunately, the last 5 years have not been kind to the Green Bay Blizzard, only qualifying for the playoffs once. 2023, 7-8, no playoffs. 2022, 6-10, no playoffs. 2021, 5-9, no playoffs. 2019, they go 9-5, but they lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Nebraska Danger, 45-40. 2018, 2-12, no playoffs. When you look at the stats, though, of that, from 2021 onward, they've won one more game each season. So with 16 games on the schedule this year, trends would say they either go 8-8 or they go 9-7. And you look at 2023 being 5th in the East, they were only 2 games out from a playoff spot. They were in it till the very end. And seeds 2, 3, and 4 last year all finished 9-6. So Green Bay was right there. They were right there to make the playoffs. It just kind of slipped away from them there at the very end. Although I don't remember what their conference win percentage was. If they would have had a better win percentage, had they had a tie with Massachusetts, Quad City, or Sioux Falls. So regardless, they don't make the playoffs, but hoping to turn it around in 2024. Let's go take a look at their schedule, see what wins, losses, predictions, whatever we can gather before we go check the players that have left and have come back. Before the schedule pops up here, I do just want to make a quick shout out to Strictly Blizzness and the Green Bay Blizzard FanCast, fan podcast. If you give those guys a chance, listen to both of them. They have a lot of great insight. Strictly Blizzness, the owner of the Green Bay Blizzard, is on there. She offers a lot of great information, not just about the Blizzard, but about the Indoor Football League as a whole. The tandem there is just amazing. They have so much insight into the league, into the team. I'll see if I can link them down below. Same with the FanCast. If you're just a huge fan of the Green Bay Blizzard, they have a lot of insight as well, some personal opinions, and they're good for a time. So with the schedule popping up here, and not just because I want to shout them out, but in one of the previous episodes, the Strictly Blizzness podcast had all of the footballs out on their desk. I want that St. Patrick's Day one. It looked really awesome. But schedule here starts off with Sunday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It is the second game of the Indoor Football League season. Massachusetts at Green Bay. 2 games a bye week, 1 game and then a bye week. And again, I have to apologize to Duke City again. I thought they were the only team with 11 straight games, and I have been proven wrong 2 times in a row. So I am sorry, Duke City. I didn't know your game, but yeah, 11 straight games here for Green Bay as well. And something I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just arena availability, how they set their schedule, but it seems the last couple of years Green Bay has had most of their home games backloaded into the schedule, and then they are on the road for quite a bit. They end the season this year on 4 straight road games with a bye week in between, and in the first 10 weeks of the season they have 6 of their 8 home games. So I'm not sure if it's just arena availability, how things pan out that way. Weather, I have no idea, but I've noticed that over the last couple of seasons that it just seems like Green Bay has a lot of road games to end the season. Looking at the games more in depth, though, they do play, I believe, everyone in the East. They don't play anyone in the West. Yes. So, home and homes against pretty much everyone in the East. I believe, actually, if I'm just doing a quick look through right here, I think they do just play, they play Iowa 3 times. So, and that means they got to play someone else 3 times, right? Yep, Sioux Falls. Okay. So, there we go. I'm looking along live with you guys, too. I've completely forgotten their schedule. That being said, this is kind of a toss-up. I think the East is up for grabs, or at least a playoff spot is up for grabs. In my mind, I've kind of got 3 teams locked down into playoff spots. That 4th spot, I mean, I want to save it for the predictions video when I get done with all these team previews, but I think Green Bay could sneak into that 4th spot. You're catching Sioux Falls on a transition year. I think Iowa still has a little ways to go. I think Quad City is going to take a step back, and Tulsa still also has a little ways to go. I think Green Bay has a chance to... I think they have a chance to take that 4th spot, but it's going to come at a price. You've got to play Sioux Falls 3 times. They are not an easy out. They are a huge rival. Iowa's not going to be a pushover this year. Tulsa is not going to be a pushover this year. Those 5 teams are going to be battling. When I say 5 teams, it's Iowa, Quad City, Sioux Falls, Green Bay, and Tulsa, all battling, I believe, for that 4th spot. I don't think there's bad teams. I think there's a chance that they can all kind of cannibalize each other, and whoever just comes out of that mishmash of 5 teams probably gets that 4th spot, which by deduction you can probably pick out who the other 3 teams that I have kind of locked into the East are going to be. But as for Green Bay's schedule, a lot of good games, a lot of winnable games on the schedule. Like I said, a lot of transition going on in the East. I've said it, I think, in every previous video. I think the West is tougher than the East. You've got a whole bunch of transition here. Whether it's players leaving, coaches, Curtis Riggs is gone. Jacksonville coming in. Are they going to be able to adapt? I mean, I have high expectations for Jacksonville just because of their winning ways. But I think Green Bay, if they play their cards right, if they stay healthy, if they build that chemistry, I think they could sneak into that 4th spot. Speaking of building chemistry, let's go take a look at the players that are coming back and the players that have left. So with the players returning card, players lost card pops up here, I do just want to say I feel kind of bad because I feel like I'm stealing Strictly Blizzness' thunder. They are doing a thing right now where they are announcing their re-signings 2 per day for the next couple of weeks leading up to the season. I know this is all already on their website and everything like that, but I still feel bad. Go give them a listen. Listen to their previous episodes. They've got a lot of great insight. Ryan and Kathy, they're so full of information. It's an amazing watch. But that being said, I got to do what I got to do here. So, starting off, quarterback Max Myler is back. 1,240 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 340 rushing yards, and 13 rushing touchdowns. The guy's good. I mean, he split literally half the season with Jerome Johnson. I know Jerome went down, I believe, with an injury partway through the season, and Max took over the team. So this year is going to be his first full year at the helm, barring injury, obviously. So it'll be nice to have that continuity. It'll be nice to have that leadership. He was good for him last year. Talking about continuity and leadership, having a veteran presence on the offensive line with Trent Clark coming back. He started all 15 games last year. And having that, lineman, quarterback connection really bodes well. You have that leadership. You say, hey, it's got to go through us. I know they've got another couple players re-signed. I will let Strictly Blizzness take care of that. I want to highlight those two guys. Like I said, go watch them. They're amazing. Defensive back, I know they've talked about this one at least, so I don't feel like I'm stepping on their toes. Defensive back, Ravarius Rivers, he's re-signed. 82 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, 3 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. That is a good re-signing. That is a great re-signing. Look for him to break out even more this upcoming year. I expect more pass breakups, more interceptions. The guy has been kind of a rock for them defensively. I know they've re-signed Sean Steele. I also know that they've got, Mike? I think they've talked about Mike Miller as well on that secondary. Corey Roberson, defensive back in his prime. The guy knows defense. That's the thing about Green Bay, is they know their defense. Let's talk about our key losses here in 1 second. All right, looking at the key losses, we're starting off with quarterback Jerome Johnson. He's off to the Vegas Nighthawks. 1,047 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 339 rushing yards, and 13 touchdowns. When I tell you that him and Max Myler were pretty similar, they were really, really similar. They split half the season. I mean, just combine those numbers, and if you're just one quarterback putting up those numbers, you probably make some sort of all indoor football league. But yeah, they split it. Hopefully he does well in Vegas. It's nice to see other quarterbacks go to other teams and really enhance profiles of other teams in that regard. Wide receiver Marquise Irvin, key loss, and I could put him here or a couple of others. 63 receptions, 782 yards, and 13 touchdowns, which is good for second-team all-indoor football league. It's not just Marquise Irvin that they're losing. They're losing Shaq Currington. They're losing Steve Newbold. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all 3 of them played the entire season together. They did. Yeah, all 3 of them started all 15 games last year. So losing all 3 of those, that doesn't bode well for the wide receiver room. I know they re-signed a couple from last season. I will let Strictly Blizzness handle that. I'm not going to step on their toes for that one. That being said, though, you lose 3 key guys, 1 guy that made second team all indoor football league, and suddenly you're kind of going, well, these guys need to step up. And I think they will. I mean, again, I'll let them handle that, but there's a couple of guys that I've seen on the roster signings that they've put out that I think they can fill those roles. I do. Finally, let's talk about defensive lineman Anthony Hayes. He's off to Jacksonville. Again, as I've said in every video, these rosters are fluid. Players could be released, players could be re-signed, whatever the case could be. That being said, he's off to Jacksonville. 26 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, and 1 pass breakup, which is good enough for all rookie team in the indoor football league. I mean, you don't just make all rookie team put up those stats and not be missed, especially with a defensive coach like Corey Roberson. I think he would like to have had him back. Unfortunately, he's off to a conference rival, and you just hope that he doesn't make you pay. That being said, I like what they have coming back. The 8 players that they've re-signed are really good. I like what they've brought back. They've brought a lot of rookies in. This is going to be a true testament for Green Bay. When we come and wrap things up, I'll kind of give my final thoughts on that. But overall, like I said, some key losses on offense, some key losses on defense for right now. And I think Green Bay still has a chance at the playoffs. I do. But let's talk about that here with our final thoughts. All right, so let's wrap things up here with the Green Bay Blizzard. Really quick, I also wanted to say, I forgot to do this with the key additions and key subtractions, but go back to the old logo. I love the old logo. Everyone loves the old logo. I know the new one is more recent. Bruiser looks cool and stuff, but the old logo is just so cool. I love it. I miss it. Bring it back. Just bring it back, please. I know you won't, but just please bring it back for me. Just for me. All right. With that plea out of the way, let's go on. But Final thoughts on Green Bay and what I think for their season. Like I've said in the entire video, I think they have a shot, which is a lot more than you could have said in the previous couple of seasons. With transitions going on in Sioux Falls, which are they going to reload or are they going to actually be struggling? I mean, they've struggled before. And even the teams that I'm predicting making the playoffs, you don't know if Jacksonville is going to transition from arena rules into the indoor league. Tulsa is on the up and up. Iowa's on the up and up, but how far up? Quad City probably looking to take a step back. Well, obviously, we'll talk about all of these teams in the future. Massachusetts looks strong, but again, uncertainties regarding them as well. And then obviously Frisco. Frisco does get their MVP caliber quarterback back. Brand new coach. Transitions going along. But I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks Green Bay can sneak in there. If they do enough to win, they play all Eastern Conference teams. That should bode well for their conference percentage if you can win those games. Unfortunately, it's also a blessing and a curse because if you lose those games, it puts you right behind the 8-ball. That being said, I do see them as kind of your fringe competitor. I do see them as possibly sneaking into that 4th seed. I don't really see them going anywhere further than that. Maybe the 3 seed. I don't see Green Bay. I don't unless something just radical happens. I don't see Green Bay as 1 or 2. On the flip side, I don't see them just falling off the face of the earth. They're not going to go winless. They're not going to be the worst team in the league. It's just kind of how they've been the last couple of years. Around 500, maybe a little bit below, maybe a little bit above. And I think this season pans out well for them to hopefully make a charge towards that end of the year and maybe sneak in. I know I keep saying they're sneaking in. Maybe that's just me trying to talk myself into it because I do have my doubts, but yeah, I think Green Bay has a chance. I know everyone has a chance, but I do think Green Bay has a little bit better of a chance than some other teams that obviously we'll preview down the road. That being said, I love that logo. I keep staring at it, man. Just please bring back that logo. Please bring back that logo. I'm getting sidetracked here. I apologize. But yeah, those are my final thoughts on Green Bay. They're a great team, great organization. They're a model organization. I would love to have every team in this league be a Green Bay. Everything from ownership to management to the players to the coaches. I mean, Green Bay is just awesome. They are very, very, very stable. And I'm really happy that they are part of the Indoor Football League. But with that, let's sign off here. Typical like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. It does not matter to me. I mean, I would like the comments, I'd like the likes, I'd like the subscriptions and whatever, because I'd love to monetize and make millions and millions of dollars in the Indoor Football League. Not really. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm signing off tomorrow. Barnstormers, Iowa Barnstormers. We are now in the thick of the Eastern Conference. We've got 2 down. Iowa tomorrow. Jacksonville's on deck. So we're going to plow through the Eastern Conference quicker than I imagined. But hey, for that, I will sign off. I will talk to you guys tomorrow with the Barnstormers. Until then, see ya.